First thing we want to do is to make sure there's no magazine in it, obviously, and to check the chamber to make sure there's no round in there. We see that there is not. The very first step of this is to slide the slide back, and using the slide locking mechanism to lock it in its locked position. And then we are going to take the takedown lever and slide that down into the 6 o'clock position. And then just slightly push the slide back. It will release the lock, and the slide should easily slide forward and off of the chassis. So we'll set the chassis over to the side. We'll get back to that in a minute. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the slide spring out. There's just a little divot in there that keeps it in place. We're just going to pop it, get a little pressure on it, pop it out. Simple as that. Then take the barrel and slide it out. I kind of dump it over sometimes to get it out of the barrel well. Simple as that. We'll set that to the side. One thing I am going to do, one of the very first things I do when I'm cleaning it, is I got my little rag here, gun cleaning rag. As I take the barrel and I kind of soak it down, it's got, you know, obviously the most gunk, gunshot residue and stuff. So I'll lube it down good. You can be wet as you like. It's not going to hurt anything. We're going to get it all cleaned up here in a little bit. So we're going to let that set while we focus our attention on the slide and the spring and such. So the first thing I like to do is I'll take, oh, and by the way, I use this product called Gunzilla. It's a bio-preferred product, meaning it's not petroleum based, etc. And I have used this for cleaning all my guns for a while now, and have been very happy with it, by a company called Top Duck. I suggest that you check it out. So we'll take a little of this Gunzilla, and we'll just going to spray one time down in the barrel well here. And then, now, I'm just going to kind of let that soak down in there. One thing we don't want to do is we don't want to spray our CLP or a lubricant in this area. The striker is right inside of here, and we don't want to get, as a matter of fact, the owner's manual of the Sig Sauer P365 recommends that you do not get any kind of lubricant down in there, and pretty much any firearm, right? So we're going to avoid that. We're going to use our little pads here. And by the way, these are little t-shirt pads that I buy in bulk. They're great for this. Also, you can pick these up from, like, you know, any gun cleaning store on Amazon or whatever. I think these are probably from Amazon, I would imagine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my little pads here, and I'm just going to spray it. A little bit of stuff here. And then I like to take the back end of this, the wooden part of this Q-tip deal here, and just kind of use it to thoroughly get down in these little spots. You're not going to see a ton of dirt come out of this because, to be honest with you, this is the second time or third time maybe I've tried to shoot this. This is the first time I've ever done this, and so I've made several mistakes and trying to had it turn sideways the first time, and so it didn't do right. And then second time I'm going to do a little portion at the end here where I'm going to show you how to properly clean the magazine, and I fumbled around with that thing. It was a mess. But we got it down. Anyway, so one thing we don't want to do for sure is we don't want to have any kind of lubricant on the outside of there. And we don't want it to be wet at all down in here. So I'm going to continue to use this, the wooden end of this to kind of get down into the barrel well. And down in there good. And then in the slide itself and the grooves, this is a great place for this to get in there. Also, the other thing that I like to do too is I'll take my soft brush here and just give it a little spray of CLP. And then I'll use that to kind of clean this striker area very lightly. Obviously, I don't want to get too much stuff in there. This is a common place for build-up, end-up. So get that in there. And then sometimes I'll just I'll just use my finger in this area, but sometimes I'll use your wooden end of this thing too. You'll find that doing this is probably one of the best things you'll do is to, you can see I must not have done a great job of cleaning it. Still some stuff. Like I said, this is a quick and dirty. I mean, you know, I'm really surprised by how well these things are. I don't clean this probably as much as I should. My grandfather would probably turn over in his grave. Big gun collector. Anyway, so I'm really happy with this right now. It's dry looking. You don't see any, like, this isn't drenched or anything. So I'm gonna give you a little warning too. You know, if you're like me and, you know, you're raised up around guns a lot and stuff, and gun cleaning, a lot of emphasis was put on proper gun care and things like that. One thing we don't want to do is we don't want to over lubricate. One of the problems that people have is they have this tendency, I want to oil my gun, keep it clean and blah, blah, blah. Great. Just do not over lubricate. You don't want any standing oil or CLP, lubricant rather, because ultimately those are magnets for debris, sand, dirt, and stuff like that. You're out at an outdoor range and you're practicing your quick draw and it slips out of your hand, falls into the sand. All of a sudden it is a living nightmare to try to get all of that sand and grit out of your weapon, and it will go in places that you never believed it would go. Anyway, so moving on to, we're letting our barrel continue to break down the GSR and stuff over there. So also, we want to put a very light coating of oil on the slide spring, and you should never take this apart any further than this, okay? This thing is rated up to 2,500 rounds from Sig Sauer, and they recommend that it be changed out after that. So if you start having problems with it, these guys are great warranty-wise and everything. Your owner's manual will give you instructions in there on what to do if you ever have to return it. It's great. Anyway. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of CLP on these pads and just give it a quick spin on here. CLP is great because it cleans and lubricates all at the same time. You know, it's great for just quickly, you know, you don't want to spend too terribly much time cleaning this stuff. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to set the slide spring over to the side for now, and let's get to the barrel. So, one of the main areas that I like to pay attention to on the barrel is the feed ramp. We'll get to that in a minute. We're going to clean the barrel itself, the bore here. I'm actually going to use my barrel rod from my Glock barrel rod. It's really handy plastic thing here. So I'm just going to stick it through first. And I like to do that because sometimes it's really hard to get through with the cleaning patch on there. There we go. Get it threaded. All right. Keep it from getting knotted up, or you won't be able to get it through there. Clean. See, still a little dirt in there. Go through the other way. If you can't get it through, put the rod in through first, and then put the pad on there, and it's easier to pull through sometimes. Really looks clean. I mean, the owner's manual, again, recommends that you continue to do this until your swab comes out clean. Looks pretty clean to me. So I'm going to take a little time here. I'm going to make sure I get all of this CLP off the barrel part here. Now, still got a little lubricant left on my brush here from when I was cleaning the firing pin area over there. So I'm going to give a little scrub to the feed ramp here. This is a common place for buildup and things like that too. This is so when your weapon fires, the slide comes back. This is what catches the next round. It feeds the round up into the bore here, and so we don't want any kind of could cause misfires if there's buildup there. So clean that really good, and then also down in here, I like to get down in there and clean that. Hope you guys can see this okay. Okay, I'm really pretty happy with this. It's pretty clean. I'm gonna give it one last good. No, wait, I don't want any leftover stuff on there because I have dropped it before. Okay. I'm going to leave that on there in a minute. I'm going to use it to clean the chassis, so. Okay, feel pretty good about that. Okay, let's see, I believe I've covered everything. From here, we want to do a real quick reassembly of the weapon. So to do that, we're just going to take the barrel, drop it into the barrel well, like so. Take the slide spring, larger spring towards the front of the muzzle, and then pop it back down into that little spot that you popped it out of earlier. It's real easy as far as it goes. It's all you need to do there. Okay, and so real quick on the chassis, what we want to do is just do a very quick clean on this. One of the areas you want to get are the slides where the slide goes into these grooves here. So I just take very lightly. Again, don't want a ton of CLP on here. Again, I'm going to use my little wooden thing. I use this all the time. It's funny, I use the other end of it more than I do the actual Q-tip end. Really looks good in there, really. Same thing on this side. I'm just not seeing a ton of residue coming out of here, but it's great. Keep it clean. This thing's been shot a lot, too. Who knows? I'm not logging my rounds out of this weapon, so. Anyway. Been thinking about doing that more. Okay, it's got a little bit of residue on it, but I'm going to clean it a little bit with a clean towel. Let me see if I can actually get a little more of this off here. All right. So putting the slide back on, fairly simple. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take and push the slide lock up and make sure that the takedown lever is in the 6 o'clock. I usually hold this in place. Pick your slide up and guide it on there. Slide it past. I'll lock it sometimes here, lock it, and then slide your takedown lever up. You're all set. And you can release the slide. So we'll do a little test here. We'll do a firing test. We'll fire. Okay. Charge it. Reset. And fire. Looking pretty good there. Pretty happy with that. Okay, so very quickly, I wanted to take you through, I've got a little problem with this magazine right now. At the range, sometimes it will not return the slide back to the rear on the discharge of the final round. And so I had a friend of mine showing, you can kind of take the spring and kind of respring it a little bit. Will help, especially. It also, this is another little tip too, I think is handy, is to every now and then, if you have several of these magazines, I have 4 or 5 of them, different ones, 4 or 5 of the 12 round. I like to swap them out. So if you keep them loaded all the time, like I do on my belt, I keep 2 loaded, one in the firearm, with a round in the chamber. And so when I go to the range, sometimes I'll take that opportunity to slip them out, change them out for my range magazines, so that the springs don't always stay depressed all the time. I think that helps anyway. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pop this out. You just mash this little detent button down and then slide this little slide. It's pretty straightforward. And then the 12-round magazine, little doodad just comes off there. Love these technical terms, doodads, this, that, and the others. All right, so that's that. I'm just going to kind of take this opportunity to kind of just clean in there, make sure there's no dirt and residue. Later on, I'll probably do the other ones too, maybe, I don't know. But just make sure there's no debris, junk in there. This goes back to the little lesson about dropping it. If you do, that is really a time to clean your magazines. It gets down in the dirt, especially if the magazine by itself drops. So I'm going to clean off the little plastic bullet pusher-upper thing a little bit. Just make sure. The spring really looks pretty good. So to respring it, I'm just basically going to take, just kind of inspecting it, make sure everything's okay there. I'm just going to take and just kind of very carefully, not overdo it, but kind of pull that out a little bit. All right, I think that'll do it. Okay, to get this back in there, let's see, we want to make sure that there's kind of a round, there's a round edge here and a square edge. We kind of want to follow that pattern, so the round edge here, square edge there. Get that back in there correctly. So round edge. Okay. Same thing goes here. There's the round edge. This is the bottom. So we want the round edge forward. And just stick that back on there like so. And this goes around this way. Round part forward. Slide in. And it'll kind of just, when you slide it, you want to make sure that's mashed down really good too, by the way. When you slide forward, it'll lock into place. Oh, yeah, see, that's the reason I said you want to make sure you have it, what I was just saying. It needs to be mashed down all the way because it's actually going to go under these little metal parts of it too. So. Yeah, see, now it's locked on there good. Really important to know. All right, folks, that concludes the cleaning of the P365. I hope you find this useful, and I'm not sure how much more of these I'll do. This is just kind of a test. I enjoy this stuff, and hope you get some use out of this. One last thing. I talked about going to the out to an outdoor range and stuff. I'm going to bring up this product right here. These LPS 1. These are very great, kind of like a cleaning cloth, you know, like a wet wipe or something, except for guns. It's a greaseless firearm and lubricant cleaner. It's great at the range. You can pull it out, and you don't need to take your bottle with you and all these things and everything. It's kind of all in one if you kind of want to take that with you, especially if you're going out hunting and you're going to be camping and things like that. You want to carry all this stuff with you, and it's just really handy to have. I just thought I'd bring that up as one last little thing, and you can find these on Amazon too. Anyway, take care, and hope to see you again. Thanks so much.